Hi, it's Hans at happierman.com. Ooh, it's really cold here where I'm at. Very, very cold. Winter. Just snowed the other night and then it got cold. So, whole different situation here where I'm at. Today's topic is focus or clarity and focus tips. I just had an extremely productive session at the coffee shop, bringing in what I want to focus in on now and getting the clarity and about what I want to do in my life, and I thought I would share that with you, some tips on how I did it. The first tip is to leave the house and go to someplace like a coffee shop to do your thinking. I don't know what it is about being at home. I just can't seem to get anywhere with my goals and my dreams and my mission and my thoughts. I can't seem to get them together when I'm at my home. It's like I fall into I can do things at home, but let's say important, critical thinking, I just don't do that well at home. So that's the first tip. Number one is leave your house and go somewhere and do your thinking. And you're planning and you're dreaming and you're writing and you're journaling. So I bring my backpack and papers and my planner book and my journal book and my old notes from before when I was making a lot of good progress. And that way I have all that information there with me and I can refer back to it and I make a lot more progress. You'll find that if you do this, if you actually leave the house, and you will have tremendous success with your thinking. I think that's why you'll find that the most inspired, creative writing by your favorite inspired, creative writing types is done not in their home, but somewhere else. So I would encourage you to leave your home. Excuse me, I gotta move up a minute here. The sun is always just weird in the winter where I'm at. The sun just wreaks havoc on making my videos. I make it anyway. Leave the house and try and get to a good spot like a coffee shop. I went to my favorite coffee shop and it was just packed, just mauled. The line was out the door, even in the dead of winter like this. So I went to the one next door, a block away, and that was more quiet and nice, and I made a lot of progress. So leave the house. That's the first thing to make progress on your clarity and your focus and your dreams. And the second is to have your writing material. You know, I have my backpack and I've got my planner book. You know, I put my planner book, my journal, extra tablets. I've got 3 or 4 other tablets, maybe 4 or 5 other tablets with various planning and dreaming and notes that I've taken from before over the last 5, even the last 10 or 12 years. I have some of my critical tablets with critical notes that I know that I can draw on and take a quick look at and get re-inspired from them again. So bring all that with you. You know, you could do it with your computer. That works too. But I find that, you know, I can do more computer work at home, and actual writing work I do better out. So the two are linked. So that was what's the second thing, the writing. And third thing, well, you buy coffee and something to snack on and kind of get yourself going. So that's third. And the fourth is a little bit of a deadline. Today is January 20th, 2019 as I'm speaking, and it's the NFL playoffs are today, the championship game. They start. And actually, the first one starts very soon. So I want to get home to watch that game. I want to watch both of them. because actually watching those games, that's part of my fun. That's right on my fun list of fun things to do. Now, you may not think that's important to watch football games, but to me, that's a fun thing to do. I enjoy it. I get a lot out of it. So it's on my list as something fun to do, so I'm just going to do it and enjoy it. So the deadline was to get to the coffee shop, to have a few hours to do some thinking and some planning and some journaling and some writing, and also to get back so I could enjoy the game this afternoon. So that's like the fourth thing, is having a deadline. You don't have to just sit there open-ended for days or hours on end. Put a deadline to things. Some people, some of your more productive types, will put an alarm. Now your phone has an alarm, so set an alarm. What's a reasonable amount of time for you to focus on something? If you're just starting at this, maybe 5 minutes is a long time for you. But a productive person is probably going to be able to focus for a half hour, an hour, 2 or 3 hours. Set your alarm for that. So have that deadline to get something done. So yeah, I made a lot of progress with those tips. And what I really wanted to stress is try to come up with a clear and focused things for you to work on in the near term, along with your grand goals. Well, yeah, I have my grand goals and my big ideas and how I want to live my life in the long term, but how can I bring that back into the short term? What should I be doing now? So with that, with all the tips I just brought you, I have in my journal book, I've got what I want to work on in the near future, in the next month or so. What do I want to do in the next month? What I do in the next month, how will that propel me forward? For example, there's something I want to do that isn't that hard to do. I just have to show up, but it's a big deal to me. It's very expensive dental work, but so I have to show up and do it and then pay for it. But I've had this on my list of things to do for like years now, 5 years or more actually. Something like that, something ridiculously long, a long wait. So I'm bringing that into focus. Focus on that. Once that is done, I can cross that off my list and not have to do it anymore. You get what I mean? On these goals, you want to get them done and behind you so you can move forward. So it's a big deal to me to get that done, and I'm on the verge of doing it. So that's on my list, and I'll be so happy when it's done. All right? And then what else? The focus on how do I have the big dreams, right? But to get to those dreams, they're up here, the dreams are high, I'm down here, here happy. How do I kind of start to climb? Well, I have to have some intermediate steps to get there. I'm up here, I know, you start with that goal and you work backwards, but you got to start where you're at and kind of move forward. So what are those things you can focus on and do now? Clarify them, write them down, schedule them. So that's what I'm getting at, is write down what those action steps are, so you can see them on a line somewhere in a written form that you can check off or cross off as being done. Not just this, I want to be happy. Well, what would make you happy, right? I want my finances better. What would make your finances better? What bills would be paid off and how much money would be in your savings account and checking account and wallet and hidden somewhere to make you feel like you've accomplished some financial goals? You got to have specific things to accomplish. That's the essence of goals, are specific, and usually they're smaller. Don't make things so big. You have the big ones, but have smaller ones, smaller things. Don't just say, well, I have plenty of money. How is your money allocated? Do you have $50 hidden in your car in case you run out of gas? And you know, maybe that's a small goal. Maybe $50 hidden in your wallet, that's a small goal. Maybe $1,000 in a savings account, right? These are small goals that are doable, actionable. You can get to them, and then once you have them, they're done, and now you can focus on the next step. Focus, clarity. Focus and clarity. That's the key to making progress on your life. So, I hope this helps. I love making videos for you. I hope you enjoy them. I'll continue to make videos. I've got a lot, you know, with the focus and the clarity tips. I just kind of finally figured out what not to work on. That's one more aspect is sometimes you find out what not to work on. So you can say, ooh, I don't want to work on that now. That is too far in the future. That isn't quite right for me. I thought it was right for me. I had something that I thought I might want to try, but I've kind of put that aside for now, and I want to bring my focus back to something that's probably more right for me. So there you have it. Focus and clarity tips for today. All for now.